Everyone blames banks, hedge funds, or housing bubbles for financial collapse, but that's not even close to the real reason. The first true market crash wasn't about sophisticated debt or tech stocks. It was about a flower bulb. And it gets worse and funnier. Imagine waking up in 17th century Holland, where a single flower bulb, a tulip, was suddenly worth more than your entire life's savings. Money was pouring into this single object faster than people could panic. Banks were giving loans against flower beds, and everyone was convinced they were genius investors. Even economists were panicking, which is rare because they're usually confused, not scared. They said it happened because the tulips, especially the rare, broken varieties, were the ultimate status symbol for the Dutch elite, a true mark of wealth. But that's only the version they want you to remember. The truth is the elite were just the fuel. The real fire was the birth of pure speculation. This wasn't collecting, this was betting, and the house was a flower shop. Because here's the part they never mention about the Tulip Mania. The real action wasn't in buying the physical bulbs. The dirty secret was the creation of futures contracts, betting on a tulip that was still in the ground. The market became an auction where no one ever saw the product. People were exchanging massive debts based purely on a signature and a belief that the price would go up forever. This wasn't an accident. It was a ticking bomb, a debt mountain built on nothing but soil. And everyone involved pretended it didn't exist. It's like watching someone juggle knives while yelling, "Trust me, I've got this." Except the knives were made of gold. But the craziest part is still coming, because this next detail changes everything you think you know. The collapse wasn't triggered by a change in the flower's value. It was triggered by a couple of people realizing their tulip debt was absurd. When a few sellers couldn't find buyers, the chain reaction began. Greed led to warning signs, which led to denial, which led to explosion. The fear and anger were real. People who thought they were millionaires were suddenly broke, holding a piece of paper for a flower no one wanted. Some experts still argue it wasn't a crisis. It was a robbery wearing a crisis costume, where early sellers ran with the cash and left the latecomers with the dirt. This is when the entire system froze. All transactions stopped. Contracts were worthless. Courts were overwhelmed because how do you enforce a debt based on a tulip bulb? This was the moment investors realized they were trapped, not by a lack of money, but by an absolute lack of sanity. If money could scream, this is the moment it would have lost its voice. But here's the detail everyone ignores, and this is the part that still affects you today. People think the crisis ended with a few bankrupt gardeners, but the financial scars never healed. Tulip Mania didn't just ruin fortunes, it taught the world that a market's value is purely based on collective belief. It was the first, clear, perfect example of a speculative bubble. Every single market crash since then, from the dot-com bubble to crypto spikes, is just Tulip Mania wearing a different outfit. This event impacts your life right now. It is the reason why central banks and financial regulators exist today, to try and prevent people from getting that stupid, that fast, ever again. Here's the punchline. Finance isn't numbers. It's human behavior dressed in a suit. It will always return to the same lesson. Greed always wins the short game and absolutely destroys the long one. And if you think a flower destroying an economy is insane, wait until you hear what happened when a single meme stock changed the rules of Wall Street.